Welcome to the Hurley Pro. It is Kelly Slater, the 11-time world champion, taking off on Joel Parkinson, the superstar from the Gold Coast of Australia.
3 minutes 40 on the clock. Kelly, can he improve on what he's already got? Snaps out of the top. This is a critical wave in the context of this final. Another big turn.
Beautiful combination of maneuvers right there. He's gonna float the boat, come to the inside, see how he finishes strong. Bangs a reverse out, and
Kelly's calling it a heat.
Kelly's climbing
15 seconds to go.
there is nothing out there.
Kelly Slater takes the Hurley Pro here in 2012, his 50th ASP WCT victory.
I sort of felt like I've had so many good years at Lowers that you know, I feel like the pressure's really on to at least trying to make the final, because it feels like it's been my best event on tour, and I don't know. It's cool to win the 50th one here, because I won my first event as a pro here, and sort of feels like a nice wrap up for me.
Trestles is such a high performance wave. It's one of my favorite events, most rippable waves you can get, and just everyone's psyched.
That's a huge contest, and especially for like all the guys that do crazy airs.
In Trestle, you have a beautiful left for surfing.
It's definitely become one of the most prestigious events.
There's just a lot of bragging rights at stake. It's a wave where you can really express your surfing in the way that you want to, you know?
And it's always high performance, so I think whoever wins there, you're always like the best surfer. And it's like been proven because Kelly's won like 3 or 4 years in a row, so.
This is Kelly's 50 World Tour victory.
If you can get a really good result, you know, going into France and Portugal after that, sort of sets you up with that confidence.
From the Trestles event on is when people get their rhythm going into Europe, and that's kind of where the world title kind of unveils itself.
If you come out of that time going in the last few events and you get a little bit of a lead, you really put the pressure on, because then every single heat, the guys behind you have to think about that if you get up in the lead. And if you're that guy right behind, you know you're thinking every single heat matters like a world title.
Beautiful conditions here, Lower Trestles.
This is a semi-final, ladies and gentlemen.
At the Hurley Pro, it's may the best surfer win.
Trestles is one of those high-performance waves in the power surf and the airs.
It's somewhere where all those different types of surfers have done well in the past.
Trestles offers up enough speed, power, and options, you know, to be able to beat somebody who is on a little bit better wave than you, but you just go a little bit bigger.
Here we go, Gabriel Medina on the inside. You know what he's going to do. He throws a massive air reverse.
The quality of surfing that gets thrown down at Lowers is really unlike any other spot on tour, you know.
The most high-performance contest in the world.
Day after day, the kind of standard gets raised throughout the event.
There we go.
Performance levels just go through the roof there. For someone like Kelly, he knows the waves, been surfing it for however long.
It's a fun wave, you know, and to get it with no people in the water. That's probably why I do so well, because I like surfing by myself.
When you think of Trestles, the contest, you think of Kelly.
Kelly Slater's domination at Lowers.
Kelly always at Lowers is the hardest guy to beat.
Oh, God, I'd rather win Lowers and not even go near Kelly. He's all... Oh.
He knows the waves really well, and
It really does suit his style of surfing.
It's undeniable how good he is out there. He's been good at that wave since he was 18 when Black and White came out. Lowers I consider to be the first point break I ever surfed when I was a 12-year-old kid. There's a point break. You get a long ride, you can just do pretty much everything in your repertoire. He is the epitome of the whole package.
He can really kind of do it all. He's got the big, powerful turns.
The tail slides.
He's got the airs.
All the rail maneuvers. Gets barreled and stuff. He does stuff out there that you just are like, what the heck? And this up here kind of gives him edge over everybody. It's like he's got the perfect rig for surfing. He's kind of like short, stocky, and real flexible. I mean, he suits everywhere, but he really looks good at Trestles.
Yeah, when you think of Trestles, you think of Kelly, like he's always going to be in the mix to win it.
He just knows how to really rip that place.
It never really surprises me that he always is good, but it always amazed me. Kelly's always going to be the favourite as long as he's in the field for that event, and we are all chasing Kelly.
He even says he's got something special with lowers, and I guess with Trestles he feels at home, and he's had some huge results out there even previous to the Hurley contest there.
Once again in 2005, Kelly Slater climbed onto the podium as a winner of a Foster's Men's Tour event.
And I'm just loving my surfing so much right now, but I'm enjoying the competition too.
2007 reigning world champion, Kelly Slater!
I won my first contest as a pro here, and so did Tom, and we were sitting on that record together, and part of me is kind of sad. I was, sort of dreaming maybe Tom and I would just end up on the same number forever. Somebody's bound to come along and better what I got there with 34.
Kelly Slater has taken the lead and the Boost Mobile Pro presented by Hurley.
The biggest prize check in the history of surfing.
Kelly hasn't cooled down for 20, 30 years.
It trips me out that he just keeps going and going and going, he just keeps carrying on winning events, and you think he's going to be done and he wins another CT.
Kelly's surfed through 2 different decades, or 3, so he knows what to do and how to do it at the right time.
So there's a whole lot of things that go into it. You got to have the right equipment at the right time. You got to put the right fins in your board. You got to pick the right waves. You got to ride those waves correctly. You want to get yourself in this position by making all those right decisions to create dominance.
Progression in board design, it's probably had a fair bit to do with the progression in surfing and definitely bringing that to the World Tour.
Seems like Kelly's always just really in tune with his boards at Trestles, and he always just has a board that looks so perfect for out there.
You're seeing a trend with kids going faster and higher in the air and doing crazier stuff. I think board design's kept up with the progression of the sport. You go faster and higher when you go shorter and wider.
I think it's going to keep going that way. Skating influences surfing more than vice versa now. The more board you have, the harder it is to whip the thing around.
Trestles can be pretty unpredictable from heat to heat and stuff. You want one that can work in all conditions.
The wave face is probably a little bit slopier than a lot of spots on tour. It's such a rippable wave. Just trying to find that board that feels like it's an extension of your body,
I've been riding mostly Matt Viola's Mayhem. He shapes right there. He understands the break. He surfed it his whole life, and I think it just comes easy for him, and half the tour rides him now.
He's a smart guy. He'll break down a wave geometrical, different than just surfers.
Mayhem for Trestles, it goes hand in hand. He shapes for a lot of the best guys on tour, so he's going to be pretty clued in on what's current, I guess. Surfing's so much better when you have a good surfboard.
I've got that really good problem. I've got too many good boards.
You're going to have influence at Trestles from guys in San Clemente and that area, shapers in Southern California. But again, it still is going to come down to catching the best waves in sets and then performing on those waves.
The biggest claimer.
Favorite claimer?
I guess Adriano.
Adriano.
I'm sure most people say Adriano, and I'd have to go with the majority.
He's come out. There we go.
The Brazilians do a lot of the passion, the heart.
Especially those ones where they're
yeah. I don't know, I don't have very cool claims like that. I just kind of do a little, woo, yeah.
Who's got a really good one when it comes together is Knox. He nearly claims it so hard he falls off the board.
I think CJ Hobgood is probably the biggest claimer. The guy claims everything.
Tom Curran, because he never claims.
Truck honk to ball grab. I didn't even mean to do that. That just happened. It's all drama, it's all theater.
He's made 6 of the last 7 finals out here at Lowers. Clearly the guy to beat.
And the final has started.
Looks like Kelly's going to edge out Owen and go left.
Well, Kelly, the pressure is on here because I think Owen got the score, and Kelly's going to town behind him. Drama here at the end. It's a flip of a coin, and we're going to wait for the judge's call. And here comes Kelly's score.
And once again, for the 5th time, first place trophy is collected by Kelly Slater.
As far as this event goes, I think the best surfing in the world is on display this week.
Surfing is well and truly on a new path, and Kelly Slater is absolutely leading that charge. This is going to be a battle.
There's always a new crew of talent, and everyone wanting to push early on, and each event's a little battle, and you know you want to win each one, but you're never going to win them all.
Up and riding, ladies and gentlemen. Taj Burrow jamming in the pocket. He's getting a rhythm going.
Oh, it's as sweet as it gets. You know, being the first event of the year and being so nervous.
You know, this is perfection. This is exactly what you'd see on a cover of a mag somewhere and be like, I want to go there.
The men's final. It is time to make things happen here at Bell's. Mick Fanning and Kelly Slater. Doesn't get any better.
He's looking strong. Kelly Slater comboed. So I'll tell you what, if Kelly's going to manufacture a win here, it's going to have to be a classic.
Wow.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
This is the best final I've ever seen.
No, it's not enough.
You know, when you go up against Kelly, you got to bring your A game, and that was really emotional. It was just a real magical moment.
The 2012 Rip Curl Pro champion, Mick Fanning!
Usually there's kind of a couple guys that dominate. It's every event's pretty exciting because there's so much talent on tour that it seems like anyone can win an event.
That kid, he's surprised me in so many different ways. You know, he keeps getting better and better.
I'm just in disbelief right now. I'm like shaking. I'm so happy.
Wow! Here is Medina without priority, mixing things up to the inside.
In the barrel.
Oh!
Wow. Scram. So Kelly Slater.
Oh yeah. Threading the needle right there. He's going 178 miles an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is classic Cloud Rig just playing her little song for us.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
I've actually had a better start this year than I had last year. If I show up, I'm committed.
Joel Parkinson taking on Mick Fanning. Parko getting a 9.5 on the very first wave.
Such a strong opening ride, and at this point I think the Fanning fans are kind of freaking out.
Then Mick Fanning gets started. Perfect approach on this one on his back end, sliding, putting his whole back in the wall, ends up coming out.
And Mick just surfed it beautifully, got himself the score he needed, and Parko couldn't find an answer in the final stages.
Mick Fanning taking the Billabong Pro Tahiti 2012 title.
There's a different winner in every stop. It just shows the variety of surfers on the tour, and it shows how much talent there is right now.
Welcome back to the Hurley Pro, the 6th stop on the ASP World Tour, into a very exciting round 4, maybe the most exciting matchups we've seen of 2012.
Look at this. It's a little hassle, but he's got it. Oh!
We see the collision there, and Julian goes down.
Kelly got the interference on that.
The 11-time world champion. Kelly drops to 3rd.
I think Julian's in my way right there, to be honest with you. I was out the back. I clearly was up first, and I would have been across that little wedge section, hitting it right where Taj was if Julian wasn't in my way. I was just trying to get across and not just give Taj, sort of free rein to have a wave. And, Taj thought I was right behind him, so he kicked out. So, I don't know. I'm frustrated.
Heat number 2 of round 5 out in the water now.
Here's Kelly Slater up riding.
Bang, big opening maneuver. He's flying down the line. He's got some speed, big float. Throws a nice, big, jamming re-entry float there on the end section. Jeremy Flores taking off behind him.
He might get the better of this, Blakey.
He might just get a better wave out of this.
Jeremy Flores pumping down the line. Big, that's what we've seen all week from him.
Let's see how this one unfolds. Jeremy appealing for a situation update.
Now they're hoping or wondering if priorities change.
Well, I think Jeremy did get priority because Kelly is blowing up royally. And here he goes, Jeremy Flores now. This is his chance to answer back. Under a minute remaining. This is his last shot at it. There's a big float, bringing it through to the inside. Let's see what he can do. Another big slice. Competing very well under pressure here, chasing a big score, an 8.18. And this wave has lined up beautifully. Another sliding carve. Let's see if he can get a finish. He doesn't get the finish that he really wanted.
Jeremy and I, we were paddling over that left, and he turned to go in the whitewater, and I had priority at the time. I popped up, he was right next to me, and they took the priority, changed the priority disc, and then he got that last one. I was just sitting there going, what happened? I basically told myself before that heat, I said if I lose this heat, I'm probably out of the world title contention this year.
And we've got a rider up here, and it looks like it's going to be Kelly drawing first blood. Here goes Mick now, and he has a bit of a wall in front of him. Opening move, and he falls.
That heat with Mick was a make or break for the year to keep me in.
Kelly's been battling. He's had a few moments where he's interference. He had that, with the priority. He's been a little flustered, but he's in the final, and it's kind of scary to think that he hasn't peaked yet.
I actually came in pretty confused. I didn't really surf that great. Literally before each heat, I was like switching fins, switching boards, making last-minute decisions. Last night, I just went home, shaved my head, took a long hot shower, and said, okay, set it, reset.
Here we go, 35-minute final. It is on. They just counted the men. Kelly Slater taking on Joel Parkinson.
Kelly kind of came across, had a look, and then threw his hand on the nose as if like, I don't want it. Kelly just gave the priority to Joel Parkinson. Joel
he's not
can't
gonna get it.
into it, and Kelly is going to get this wave.
Kelly Slater loses priority, but he still gets the wave. This is a critical wave in the context of this final.
Out the back, Parkinson's waving his arms up in the air. We're seeing a wave coming to Joel Parkinson.
3 minutes 40 on the clock. Kelly, can he improve on what he's already got?
Win or loss, I really enjoy this battle, you know, I just like getting in there and competing. Trestles is one of those places where no matter what, you can never write yourself off, you know. You can be behind with 5 minutes to go, and if it pumps you, you're on the luck of those two waves, and you can change the whole situation around.
Neither of us got a huge opportunity. I probably had a little bit better side of the wave that came. And we had that long lull, and they took my priority away, and then by the time they told him he was above the wave and couldn't catch it, turning point for me, it felt like, you know, in basically every contest I've ever won, I feel like there's some moment where things go my way. At that point, it sort of felt that way. I just got the better of the one or two exchanges we had. So
50th World Tour victory, 2012, the Hurley Pro Champ, Kelly Slater.